Jay.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the best businessmen in the history of America. Not only the president of the UFC, but also one of the founders of the
Slap League.
Slap League, which I can't wait to get an update on.
So pumped.
Friend of the program, building towards UFC 300. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana White.
Yeah, Dana! Yeah! Yes.
You too.
How are you, brother? Great to see you, my friend.
What's up, man? How you doing?
This is this guy's town. I should
What's
have
up,
said
Dana?
Yeah, it is. Guy looks great.
that. Dana, member of the Golden Knights. He got anointed last night. You got anointed. I could tell. Yeah, he said he could tell. You look like a player.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
If you see him just walking around, you say that guy's a member of the Golden Knights right there.
Yeah, no.
Scrappy third liner.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, not gonna get a whole bunch of minutes, but I'm gonna make the minutes count when I'm in there.
He's a goon, too. Not scared to wrap it up a little bit with the boys. He was also on completely blacked out and doesn't remember any of it, but he did this last night, Dana. If you ever need somebody to start a UFC event, get him on the siren.
Yep.
He'll go absolutely bananas up there. Your city is playing host to the biggest game in the world. Obviously, last night we could feel it at the Golden Knights game. This is going to continue to build. Las Vegas feels like the perfect place to host something. Obviously, you've had a lot of success. How do you think this week pans out?
Yeah, I mean, this is the greatest sports town in the world. I love this city, so I'm very biased. But, we were at dinner last night. We were talking about, and people can't wrap their head around this, but back in the 70s and 80s, the UNLV Running Rebels were like the biggest thing in this city. It was like, I'm telling you, it's like the Golden Knights now. But this was always meant to be a sports town. Once all the leagues got over gambling,
Now there's slot machines in the NFL Radio Row right over there. Think about that. We got a blackjack table.
Well, it's not even about that. It's about sports betting.
Sure, yeah.
They couldn't get over the sports betting. Once that all got out, and it's very regulated now. But when you think about if you live in another city and you're going to go to an away game, what away game are you going to? You're coming to. Let me tell you, you're not going to Cleveland, okay? You're coming to Vegas for the away game.
And it's worked out. Obviously, every sport is trying to get in here. The
Right.
NFL has had success here with the Raiders, obviously, in the Chiefs division, so that's going to be tough. The Vegas Aces,
Yep.
two-time champions.
Right.
The
Back-to-back
Golden Knights,
champions.
Stanley Cup champions
There
right
we go.
now.
Yeah, MLB A's are coming here.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, this is going to be the epicenter.
The problem is for Vegas right now. I'm sure you guys have been hearing this too. People can't fly their planes in here right now.
Yeah.
They need to build a bigger airport.
You need to
like tomorrow.
Why don't you do that?
Yeah.
I've seen your office. I'm surprised you don't have an airport right outside of it.
Come on.
I got enough stuff to do. Last thing I need to be doing is building airports. But this city, seriously, in all seriousness, before soccer gets here, before baseball gets here, and before the NBA gets here, they need to build an airport.
A lot of space out there.
ASAP.
Just build a couple runways over all those dead bodies in there.
exactly.
I mean, that is
But
what the
there's
story.
plenty of desert out there. Build a bigger airport, or one of these private companies need to come in and build a bigger private airport. But it's serious. There's plenty of hotel rooms here. There's plenty of restaurants. Everything else is here. The city isn't ready for all these planes.
Dana, I was at the Sphere last night. I know you've talked about it. Maybe I'm out of the loop on it, but has there been any progress towards a UFC fight in the Sphere?
Well, what'd you think?
Place is insane. I mean, it's truly mind-boggling.
What show did you go to?
So
I just watched like the postcard from Earth.
Okay.
Like
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh,
I haven't seen that yet.
It's fascinating.
I saw U2. U2 is what maybe. So U2 is using this much of the capabilities of the Sphere.
$60,000 for the suite. I'm going
gonna
today.
use this much.
$60,000 we paid for this suite. It better be a good show. They need to use a little bit more of that Sphere.
Is it U2 you're going to?
Yeah, today.
Yeah. Listen, you're gonna love it. It's
Okay, all right.
awesome.
All right.
The Sphere is the star of the show. It's well worth going. Anybody who comes in town, you have to go to the Sphere. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah,
I want
no,
to check
it's-
that out. But
It's the closest to virtual reality I've ever, you feel like you are literally somewhere else. It's
awesome.
incredible.
It's awesome. It really is awesome. That's why I went and saw the U2 show. And like I said, they're using this much of the capabilities. I'm going to use this much.
my God.
I'm going to put on the greatest live sporting event anybody has ever seen.
Let's go.
And what happened was after they did the show and people started looking at it, they're like, this is cool for concerts, but you can't do live events here.
So
That's
what-
why I
when you
love
say-
saying that.
We'll see.
When you say
I
you'll
love it.
unlock more of the capabilities, what in what terms?
All right. So you're sitting here, right? And you're watching the show, and you're watching the show in English.
Yes.
He's sitting in that seat. He can watch it in Spanish, French. The speakers are aimed directly at the seats. There's so many things that you can do
the rumble pack in the seats where like you get a grappling session. They got
Dude,
the
I
rumble
actually,
pack.
hey, hold on, Dana. I wouldn't mind just dabbling into the French commentary.
Yeah, can I tune
Hey, once
in?
in a while, just kind of bounce back and forth. Is this the type of person you are, though? Because I feel like this is what's going to happen to me now with the way I'm hearing the way you took in the U2 show is I'm going to be on anywhere between 90 to 250 milligrams. Okay, going in there.
I definitely wasn't doing that, no, but.
Well, I know you're super fit and in shape now with the red light and everything. You got this guy doing it for 45 minutes because you're doing it. He's a whole new human.
Got me considering fasting over here. You
Yeah,
got a
water
3-day
fasting.
fast. I
I've
don't
heard
know if I
about
can
this.
handle it.
But
It's
I'm
all legit.
But I'm a big like whenever you go to somewhere, it's like, oh, this would be so dope to do something in here. Is that how you've always been? And is that why you think like you continue to be able to evolve?
So the first thing that happened, I was blown away by the Sphere when I went in there, and the first thing that happened was everybody started talking about it's great, it's an amazing experience for concerts and this and that, and then you had the people with the negative, you could never pull off a show in there, and it'll be too expensive, it'll be this and that. So we're going in there during Mexican Independence Day, and I'm going to put on the greatest live event anybody's ever seen, and it's going to be this huge love letter to all of combat and combat sports throughout the history of Mexico. Some of the baddest dudes that have ever walked the face of this earth have been Mexican. And on Mexican Independence Day, I'm going to deliver the craziest show anybody's ever seen. And
okay, so
I'm going to tell you this too.
A Mexican fighter in every fight? Is that what that means? Is that
Yeah, well, there'll be tons of great Mexican fighters on there, but not everybody will be Mexican. But what we're going to pull off there will never be done again.
Here we
You
go.
won't do it again? What if you won't want to do it again? You won't want to do like a 4th of July? one?
Nobody's going to be willing to spend the money that
That's
I'm
what I'm
gonna
saying.
spend.
How much do you like? You're willing to invest it though, just to have the event to be epic? Is I assume what you're trying to do?
As we get closer, I want to talk to you again as we get closer. I can lay out more of the details on this thing and kind of tee it up for you what we're going to do. I'm not playing around with this. I am going in here guns a-blazing, and I'm going to blow everybody's mind with this event.
Yeah, if you're going to have the greatest sports event of all time, we would certainly like to talk to you as we get closer to it.
Let's secure a ticket of admission to that. That sounds fantastic.
$60,000 for a ticket? Is that what you're going to do for this place? I saw the price.
That's a question I have: is the financial logistics of it, because it's only 5,000 seats or whatever it is. It's obviously different than
No, it's more than
18,000.
5,000.
18, isn't
Oh,
it?
is it?
18.
JJ,
Oh,
you were there. This guy was on more edibles than me.
I was floating. I was floating.
This guy's on more edibles than me, Dana.
I was worried about people going to the Dead concert. Like, I mean, you go in there rolling; those are some steep stairs. I mean,
So true.
somebody could take a dive.
I'm nervous.
If they could pull it off, it would be a great show in there is Pink Floyd.
Oh God,
Pink Floyd would be awesome.
I mean,
Dark Side of the Moon.
be on a different planet.
Sounds like
just a
anything.
pure different planet.
AJ has a question for you.
Are there any other venues around the world that you haven't gotten to that you want to and you just haven't been able to put it together yet?
No. I mean, we've done all the big arenas, and we broke most of the records in all the arenas. We're number 1, 2, 3, and 5 at Madison Square Garden all time.
Pretty good.
And
All right.
this one was a challenge and something different, and I just love it. I love that.
How hands-on are you still with the business every day? Everything?
I get there at 8:30 in the morning. I leave at 7.
Still everything you did before, you're still doing now?
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, no. I mean, in the earlier days, when we first started, I was in budget meetings 3 times a week. I don't go near budget meetings anymore.
Well, they're trying to kick out the Sphere show for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Our CFO doesn't like the Sphere, but I do. I don't. I do the stuff that I still love to do. I do the fun stuff.
Okay, before a couple UFC questions, and how's Slap? We still slapping?
Slapping this Friday, man. Friday. It's our first time out of the Apex, sold out at Durango Station, and yeah.
You sold out what is Durango?
No, we're over there in their ballroom. So we did VIP packages. $300,000 gate this weekend for this power slap.
Wow. People slapping each other.
hell.
Love it.
Let's talk about your body. Brecca? This is the Brecca thing?
Yeah.
Dude, you're crushing it.
Thanks.
You seem like you have more energy, you're more happy, you're more healthy.
I'm telling you, man. And as this guy starts to get more popular, let me just say this to you people. As this guy starts to get more popular,
Hell yeah.
you got guys out there trying to debunk him. When you get success, nobody's telling you to do this. Go see your doctor. Good luck to you. Knock yourself out. But this guy is incredible. I called this hippie stuff 2 years ago. I didn't believe in any of this crap. And I'm all in on this thing now. I carve out 2 hours of my day every morning, and I religiously do this. This guy's changed so many lives. So many people that are in my life, he's changed their lives over the last 2 years. So
If you can only pick one of the modalities, whatever it is, which one are you picking?
Brady asked me that same question. It's hilarious that you asked me. It's exactly what he asked.
Same.
Yeah, same.
And it's not. You can't just do And if I had to pick one, if you say you have to pick one, I'd say the cold plunge.
Because
And I
the
just
thing I'm
saw-
thinking about is like the everyday worker who's got to get up, go to work and everything, but they only have a limited amount of time or a limited amount of funds. They can't afford it all. So you think the cold plunge is the one that you go with?
At the level that you guys have performed at in your careers, you had to be cold plunging back then. Did you guys cold plunge?
Yes, but the difference that has changed in the last 4 or 5 years is we would cold plunge for 15 minutes after practice.
Immediately.
Now it's being told that that's the wrong thing to do because it slows down the recovery process. You're supposed to do it first thing in the morning. You're supposed to do it as a primer.
But
I love it.
you were doing it's
Yes.
completely
Look at you, dude.
addicting.
Hey, Dana, look at you.
On the big
How old are you?
board.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 54.
Let's go, dude. You should be proud, man. I'm 36. I'm not going to make it to 54, but I was watching you do that entire thing, and I'm seeing everybody do it. It started with Wim Hof started the whole thing. It was kind of on the internet. It was a slow starter, and I was a cold tub guy immediately afterwards. I thought it made my legs fresher, so I thought it mentally tougher I could do it. But it does seem like it's really changing lives. This guy is a human that we look. This dude has lost like 100 pounds seemingly. He does that red light therapy as an asshole in front of everybody. He'll hold this thing up right on his face. He does it all. Also, he fights Jay Glazer in a drug dealer's basement. Big MMA fan. He has a question for you. Go ahead, AQ.
Yeah, one thing I always find fascinating, right? You got champion cards on every single fight, right? And so the biggest question I have is what makes you like Max Holloway, right? Like he's automatically going to get a rematch, right? Sean Strickland hasn't been announced yet, right? Like who knows if he's going to get an automatic rematch? What makes when a champion loses, you give the rematch versus not?
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, it depends on the fight, right? Two things. A guy, how dominant has he been? We did it with Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman, one of the most dominant champions we've ever had. So when he loses the title, you have to give him a rematch. It's just out of respect. The guy has taken every fight you've ever asked him to take, dominated. I mean, Kamaru Usman was going through guys. It was the second time of beating them. So when he loses, you give him an immediate. It depends. And Max Holloway's the same type of guy. Max Holloway fought everybody, defended against everybody, and still continues to be one of the best in the world.
What's next? What are we looking forward to? Obviously, Friday night, massive for.
Friday night's Power Slap, Saturday's UFC, and Sunday is the Super Bowl.
What do we got UFC Saturday? I should have done more research for this.
Yeah, we're at the Apex.
Let's
Joe Pyfer. I don't know if you guys remember Joe Pyfer from the Contender Series. Broke his arm fighting in the Contender Series, came back, had no money. The whole down and out story. Comes in after he heals, wins, and has been on this unbelievable winning streak. He's taking on Jack Hermanson on Saturday night. Should be an awesome fight. It's the main event on Saturday. So if any of you guys want to come, you're more than welcome. And if you want to see Power Slap, you're absolutely nuts if you don't come to it. It's one of the funnest live events you will ever go to.
That's what everybody says. And we're trying to live through Taylor and Will's. I mean, the humans that are signing up for that. I think I've met a lot of them throughout my life out there. They all think they're the toughest. Yeah. And then I imagine there's some regret. I imagine there's some regret up there.
Well, these guys, if you look at Power Slap, right, this thing's like a year and three weeks old when we started this thing. The guy, Wolverine, who's looked at the best in the world right now, this guy's paid off his house, he's paid off his cars. I mean, these guys were doing this.
It's a professional sport.
They were doing it for free.
Yeah.
Now they're making real money, and it's changed a lot of these guys' lives.
Who has the greatest UFC walkout of all time?
McGregor.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Without a doubt.
Sinead O'Connor?
When's he fighting?
100%.
With Sinead live?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, when's he fighting?
What's the date?
Got a date on that? Can we see it again? Love to see it again sometime.
Hey, Chandler, obviously we know Chandler.
Yep.
I'm excited for the build up to that, how that's going to get. I mean, it's obviously already been happening.
Me too.
Do you kind of try to, obviously the promotion, it's Connor, so it's going to go regardless. But when you're putting fights together, do you think about the promotion, how the stories are going to go, and how one person shit talks or handles fights versus how somebody else does?
Well, there's a storyline to every fight. We lay out, basically what that is. But when you think about it, I mean, this year, we got Anaheim. We got Super Bowl stuff going on this weekend. We got Anaheim, which is a great card next week. We got UFC 300 coming up. We got International Fight Week. We have the big show at the Sphere that we're talking about.
Mexican Independence Day.
Yep. And we're going back to Abu Dhabi in October. We got and Connor will fight this year, so it's gonna be a fun year.
Yeah, it will. It will be a fun year.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, man.